In a peaceful pond, nestled beside a quiet village, lived a community of fish. They swam and played, their days filled with joy and tranquility. Among them was Finn, a fish who wasn't the biggest or the strongest, but was known throughout the pond for his sharp mind and thoughtful nature. One sunny afternoon, Finn's best friend, Leo, swam up to him, his fins relaxed. "The water feels so calm today, Finn. It's a perfect day, nothing to worry about." Just then, Bruno, a large and boastful fish, overheard them and laughed loudly. "Of course, there's nothing to worry about. We're the fastest, strongest fish in this pond. No net could ever catch us." He puffed out his chest with pride. Finn watched the ripples on the water's surface, a thoughtful look in his eyes. "Sometimes, danger doesn't announce itself," he said quietly. "It's always wise to stay alert, no matter how calm things seem." Bruno scoffed. "You think too much, Finn. Loosen up and enjoy the day." With a flick of his powerful tail, Bruno swam off, followed by a few other fish who were impressed by his confidence. Finn and Leo continued their peaceful swim, but Finn couldn't shake a feeling of unease. The next morning, just as the sun's rays began to dance on the water, Finn noticed something unusual. A large, dark shadow was moving slowly above the pond, blocking out the light. He felt a shiver of alarm. "Friends, everyone, look up," Finn called out, his voice urgent. "There's someone standing by the edge of the pond." The other fish stopped their morning routines and looked up. Leo's eyes widened. "It's a fisherman," he whispered, his voice trembling. But Bruno, ever confident, just laughed. "Relax, everyone. He's just a clumsy human. If he dares to throw a net, I'll swim right through it before he even knows what's happening." Many of the other fish nodded, reassured by Bruno's bravado. Finn, however, was not convinced. "Speed won't help us if we all panic and swim in different directions," he warned. "The net is designed to trap us when we're confused. We need to think, not just react." But his words were lost as the shadow grew larger and larger. Suddenly, with a loud splash, a huge net fell into the water, its mesh spreading wide and sinking fast. The fisherman's voice boomed from above. "This pond looks full of life. I'm sure I'll get a good catch today." The net descended swiftly, trapping dozens of fish inside. Panic erupted. Fish darted frantically in every direction, only to become more entangled in the mesh. "We're trapped. We can't get out," they cried in despair. Bruno, who had boasted of his strength, thrashed wildly, but his efforts were futile. "The net is too strong. I can't break free," he gasped, his energy draining. Amid the chaos, Finn remained surprisingly calm. He observed the net, the panicked movements of his friends, and the tightening trap. He knew that struggling would only make things worse. "Everyone, stop struggling and listen to me." Finn's voice cut through the noise. It was steady and clear. Leo, tangled near him, looked at Finn with wide, fearful eyes. "Stop. But the fisherman is pulling us up." "Trust me," Finn insisted. "It's our only chance. I have a plan. Everyone, turn upside down. Float on your backs and stay completely still. We must all pretend we're dead." A murmur of disbelief went through the trapped fish. "Pretend we're dead?" One of them whispered. "That's crazy." "Think about it," Finn explained quickly, as the net began to rise from the water. "Fishermen want fresh, lively fish to sell at the market. They have no use for fish that are already dead. They'll just throw us back. We have to do it together, now." One by one, they stopped their frantic struggles, turned onto their backs, and went limp. Even the proud Bruno, realizing his strength was useless, followed suit. Soon, the entire catch of fish was floating motionless at the top of the net. The fisherman hoisted the heavy net out of the water, a grin on his face. But as he looked at his catch, his smile faded into a frown of disappointment. What's this? They're all dead fish. Not a single one is moving. What terrible luck. He poked at a few of the fish with his finger, but they remained perfectly still. Disgusted, he shook his head. Useless. I can't sell these. With a grunt of frustration, he tipped the net over and emptied its entire contents back into the pond. The moment the fish hit the water, it was as if they were magically brought back to life. With a collective splash, they all flipped over and darted away into the depths of the pond, disappearing before the fisherman could even blink. He stared at the empty water, completely baffled. Safely hidden among the reeds at the bottom of the pond, the fish gathered around Finn, their hearts still pounding but now filled with relief and gratitude. Leo swam up to his friend, his fins buzzing with excitement. Finn, you were brilliant. Your clever thinking saved every single one of us. Bruno approached slowly, his usual pride gone, replaced by a look of shame. He looked at Finn and said, I was wrong. I thought my strength could get me out of any trouble, but I was just as trapped as everyone else. Your mind is what truly saved us. Finn smiled kindly at his friends. We all learned something important today. It shows that in the face of a big problem, a calm mind and a clever idea can be more powerful than brute force. From that day forward, the fish in the pond were never boastful about their speed or strength again. They remembered the lesson they learned from the clever little fish named Finn. They understood that true power doesn't always come from being the biggest or the fastest, but from thinking clearly and working together. And they all lived by a new motto: intelligence and presence of mind are more powerful than strength. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales. See you next time.